Hey you guys, it's Rachel, and coming to you live from Wisconsin. Hopefully y'all can see me, but I thought I'd give you a little treat here because it's April 18th, and I don't know if you can see behind me. See if I turn this way, you'll be able to see. Yeah, there's a barn. It's pretty white because it's snowing like crazy here in Wisconsin in the middle of April, when we are almost a month into spring. I'm going to turn the camera around quick so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so here's what it looks like. It's been snowing for about 3 hours. It's supposed to snow all night, but then it's going to be 50 tomorrow, so maybe this will be the last snowstorm of the season. But I wanted to just make this video because I kind of feel like, well, I don't feel like it, I know that snow is also a symbol that God likes to use in the Bible. So in Isaiah 1:18 it says that our sins are like crimson, but we are washed white as snow. And then in Psalm 51:7 it also says, cleanse me and I will be white as snow. So in this snowstorm today, it just got me thinking that this is a season right now. Hey y'all, I'm not going to be able to read your comments because I've got a new selfie stick so I can do videos like this, and I'm not also the best seer, so I can't read that far away. But thank you for joining, and if you just jumped on, I just wanted to talk about how God washes us clean like the snow. So I'm trying to protect myself from the wind a little bit so I can still keep my eyes open. So this month, which just started, the Hebrew calendar month IR, just started on Monday. So this is a month where it's the second month of the Hebraic calendar, and during this time back in the Old Testament, this was just after the Israelites got set free. They got taken out of Egypt. You know, God opened the doorways and parted the Red Sea, and then Moses led them into the desert where they wandered for 40 years, a really long time, because they kept going around the mountain and missing the boat. And so the 40 years of the Israelites wandering is a lot like the month of Iyar, the second month in the Hebraic calendar that we're in right now. And during this time, for the Israelites, God took them through a lot of tests and trials to purge them and cleanse them, and just mold them and shape them into the people that they needed to be. And then, as you know, anyone who was not born during those 40 years actually didn't make it into the promised land because of their sin. But during this time right now, this month is a time for you to work on the sins that you have, from your past, or that you keep falling into, and working on cleansing yourself and helping or letting God cleanse you. And I know for me, what I've been struggling with my whole life, and I didn't realize it until not a really good friend, actually someone I just met through a couple groups that I'm in on Facebook, but she's a very godly woman and gave me some wise counsel. And I didn't realize that I struggle with trusting people from a very early age on. I felt like I wasn't heard and nobody listened to me. And so I had a hard time trusting people with who I was. And in turn, that turned out to also, it affects my relationship with Jesus, because I'm a very vulnerable person. I'm pretty open and transparent about myself, but I guess I figured out that usually is only the case when I know that you aren't close enough to hurt me. But when you're someone that is close in my life, I have a hard time trusting you with all of me. And where that turns into a problem is, if I can't trust a person with all of me, then how can I trust all of me to Jesus? And so I have been repenting and asking for forgiveness for that, and just really letting Jesus, when I'm in my quiet time and just getting into his presence a lot more in those last couple days, to really have him do a work on me so that I can let go of all that and I can be the person in the vessel that he has called me to be. So that involves forgiving those who have hurt me in the past, all the way back to my childhood. And I just feel like this snow is a very prophetic snowfall. It's obviously not, well, typically supposed to be snowing in the middle of April. But we're not in control of the weather. God is, and God uses the weather to do things, to show things to people. And I believe this snow is very symbolic of the time that we're in. And if you're hearing my words and you really want to take them to heart, I would just take some inventory of yourself and really dig down deep and get introspective with yourself this month. Hey, Whitney. And think about, who are you holding at arm's length? What are you holding at arm's length? Who do you have a grudge against, and why? And what things in your past are you holding on to as reasons why you can't do things, or your excuses why you can't do things? So it's a really good month to take that inventory, because you know what? After this month, after the Israelites wandered in the desert for 40 years, they then went into the promised land. So the next month in the Hebraic calendar, the third month, which at the moment I'm not remembering what it's called, but it is the Israelites walking into all the promises that God had for them. And so if you think about that in our lives, if you get stuck going around this mountain where you choose to be stuck in unforgiveness, you choose to be stuck in bitterness, you choose to be stuck in a pity party, or whatever else, whatever feeling that is from the enemy and not from God, you're going to go around the mountain. You're going to be stuck in the wilderness for a lot longer than you want to. However, if you take this month and this opportunity to be washed white as snow, then you set yourself up for walking into the promised land. You are allowing God to cleanse you so that he can bring you into the blessings that he has for you. And I mean, who wouldn't want that? I mean, I'd rather walk in the blessings that God has for me than being stuck in the wilderness, being purged and cleansed over and over and over. I would rather be purged and cleansed, choosing to be, because I know that in that I'm growing and maturing, and I know that God has so much more and so much better for me than I could ever create or accomplish on my own. So I just wanted to encourage you guys. Like I said, the snow this time of year in Wisconsin in spring. I mean, it happens. It's not impossible, but it's here, and I really feel like we should not just look at it in the natural, but look at it in the spiritual as well, and take a good look at yourself and figure out if there's things that you need to do that God is waiting for you to allow Him to do in you, to purge you and to cleanse you, and surrender to it, submit to God, and resist the enemy and he will flee. The first part of that is you have to submit to God. So submit to Him and let Him cleanse you and wash you white as snow, so that you can walk in the promises that He has for you. So I hope this encouraged you guys, and I hope you enjoyed the scenery, and I'm going to let you go for now. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and we'll see you soon. Bye.